Good morning, everybody. Now, I just want to first apologize. The video about the whale culture in China when it comes to video games is delayed because there's actually a lot more to research and write about. So that will come out later during this week. But today, we're catching up on some current events with the Thai and Cambodia border clash. And it has escalated, obviously, between the two countries. But behind it, well, the CCP's footprints is very clear and very much exposed for two reasons. Obviously, like the border clash is Thailand has much better weaponry. They've been launching airstrikes and then they've actually seized certain territories. In the process, they found Chinese supply or CCP supplied weapons from the PLA, such as this one, the PF-89 or the Type 89 anti-tank rocket launchers, which essentially is like the Javelin but made in China. There's also grenade barrel and non-resonant grenade launchers, various ammunitions as well. This is what the Javelin copycat looks like, and that's them taking photos. And these are also Chinese anti-tank weaponries called GAM 102 LR. So a lot of these Chinese weaponries have been bought by the Cambodian government to be used. Obviously, part of it is to maintain their dictatorship, but also other parts, China is funding Cambodia in the military front, at least. Now, something interesting happened though in the Chinese internet space. There's videos of the Thailand airstrike on Cambodian scam compounds because these scam compounds are very much Chinese-run scam compounds. So in the comments, everybody is loving it and supporting Thailand for doing these airstrikes to destroy the scam compounds. And literally, I'm just letting this video play and you can see it. The reason is because a lot of these scam compounds, most of these are run by Chinese people themselves. So they literally scam the people, like they fool the people in China to come to Cambodia for a job, and they get kidnapped into these scam compounds, never to see the light of day again, become scammers themselves, forced to work as sex slaves, scammers. Sometimes they get their organs harvested. So it's such a big thing in China that when these Thai airstrikes happen, everyone's supporting Thailand, which is, based on the CCP public opinion wise, obviously the CCP is supporting Cambodia much more this time. They wouldn't allow this to happen, but because the public opinion is so supportive of Thailand. Here's a video compilation of different workers and different people in China making videos supporting the Thai regime, supporting the Thai government for launching these strikes to essentially save the Chinese people, but also other nationals as well from the misery. And they very much love it. And there's so many comments supporting the Thai government, which I think is very much very interesting and very much against the CCP's wishes. Okay, so they're all supporting Thailand. Now, the reason why Thailand's launched these airstrikes against the scam compound is simply because it has affected Thailand's tourism, because a lot of these Chinese people, obviously Chinese tourists, go to Thailand, but in recent years, it's been like such a scare for them that they will get kidnapped from Thailand into Cambodia, so they will lose their freedom, so they end up not going to Thailand, and that has affected their tourism. They even had people who essentially came out and so, for example, in this video, this is a Thai military official speaking in Chinese. I wonder who the audience is for. So basically, they're telling the Chinese internet users the reason why they're launching these border strikes and why there's a conflict ongoing between Thailand and Cambodia, and why Chinese people should be supporting Thailand. There's also this one here, which is again also a military officer telling on TV, telling people that in Thailand it's not the Chinese people that are getting scammed because they're getting kidnapped by Thailand. It's because the Chinese people in Thailand are scamming and kidnapping the Chinese people, the tourists. So it's like you shouldn't be scared of the people in Thailand, like the Thai people, but you should be scared of the people that are Chinese in Thailand who are kidnapping you or who are scamming, basically. So the whole thing is very interesting. So that's just one aspect of it, right? Which is the military one. The second aspect is that people started to notice something. It's called the Cambodia Academy of Life Sciences. But you notice how it's written all in Chinese. Here is a list of the organizations in China that they work with. They work with many hospitals in China, including the Shanghai Hospital. Now, Shanghai Hospital, I did this video on a doctor who was murdered for exposing. He had this USB stick containing a lot of information, phone recordings of the doctors in this hospital performing, essentially declaring people brain dead and then taking their organs, doing all sorts of things like organ harvesting, right? They also work with the Wuhan Institute of Virology, the birthplace of the COVID virus. Shi Zhengli, the Batwoman, is there. They work with the CDC of Hubei province. Like, what is why a life science research facility based in Cambodia is working with all these Chinese firms. Many of these are state-owned companies, pharmaceutical companies, life science, medical companies, biotechnology companies. Um, so, like, what's the relationship there? Well, it's very interesting because here's a map. Okay, so I'll show you where the academy is. So this is the academy, which is in the capital city of Cambodia, in Phnom Penh. I hope I pronounced that right. And next to it is Prince Holding Group down here, just a few blocks away from the Academy of Life Sciences. For those of you who remember, Prince Holding Group, the chairman of Prince Holding Group, was indicted on operating forced labor scam compounds engaging in cryptocurrency fraud schemes. Both the UK and the United States imposed sanctions on this particular group. And this is the man that's behind it, a Chinese man in Cambodia. And he's very connected with the Ministry of State Security in the CCP. So, what is the relationship between the Prince Holding Group and the Academy of Life Sciences? Oh, by the way, if you go on to the website of the Academy of Life Sciences, it's all in Chinese. But right now, if you go on the website, it's been taken offline. And literally, it's in Chinese written, says all for human life and health. What does a country like Cambodia know about life sciences? Its number one industry in Cambodia is textile and manufacturing for like clothing and stuff. What does that country have in terms of the science and the biological advancement that the CCP or the Chinese state-owned companies want to build this life science institute there? If I had to guess, they were doing some research that otherwise would be very much illegal or unethical in other countries. That's why I call it the Chinese Communist Party, Unit 731. Now, if you know Unit 731, it was the human experimentation that they had committed during World War II by the Imperial Japanese Army in northern China. They essentially did these human experiment projects on people there. So it's very much, one of the point that the CCP says, yeah, we need to get back at Japan for. You go to different sort of snapshots of the website from back in the days. Okay, everything's in Chinese. Like, this is all in Chinese. And they do a lot of things with cells and stuff like that. They got a lot of these like local provincial awards, and they have a lot of these accolades and whatnot, right? So they're basically talking about rejuvenation and regenerative cell research in Cambodia. This is a different snapshot from May, I believe. No, this is September 5th, 2024. Strategic partners. One of them is the University of Pittsburgh in the United States. The other one is the Singapore National University, or I guess it would be called Nanyang University of Singapore. But again, everything's in Chinese, right? Cambodia Academy of Life Sciences. I would guess, if I had to make an educated guess, the actual percentage of Cambodianness in this institution is probably like less than 1%. It's very much likely a secret research lab from the CCP tied into things like forced organ harvesting, tied into those scam compounds, tied into human research that otherwise would not be legal in countries with a real medical ethics department, so to speak. Here again, Thai hero. Take a look at the closeness here. It's circled here, right? Academy of Life Sciences and the Prince Holding Group. This is what it looks like. Cambodia Academy of Life Sciences. Yeah, this is such a front for something that they're doing there. So there were reports. This whistleblower here, he alleged that the telecom fraud scam compounds were involved in forced childbirth to produce longevity drugs, which ties them to the hospitals that I was talking about. And where did they get the technology in those scam compounds? Because those scam compounds, they can't just do this fancy biological experiment, right? They need some type of medical background or scientific background to be able to do this. So you wonder who is supplying them with that knowledge. Could it be the Cambodia Academy of Life Sciences? So this man says that essentially what they're doing is extracting stem cells from female. They call them piglets. Essentially, are female like mothers who are given IVF. How would you put it? Like IVF babies, and then then they're harvesting it from those women who are using it for like youth rejuvenation type of like beauty stuff, right? Which is pretty twisted stuff. This was the video that I'm talking about. So essentially, to take them to these, like they breed people for the sake of doing that. Like, isn't that crazy? And this man, he says that he's been like basically following this and being undercover for about I don't know, 5 years or 6 years. It's pretty crazy. So these airstrikes, they're targeting, and a lot of these like places that the Thai military has been striking, they've, like hotels or even like apartments or just compounds, have actually been turned into like ammunition depots or things like military structures by the Cambodian government. So they're not just like civilian structures anymore. But you wonder, okay, why Cambodia? Why is the CCP supporting Cambodia? Well, one of the reasons is because of the Belt and Road Initiative, but also another one is that these scam compounds make up a huge portion of Cambodia's money earning. Okay, so Cambodia's 2025 budget law states that it projects a $6.5 billion fiscal revenue in 2025. Okay, in the region, so the region of Mekong, which is in Cambodia, Myanmar, and Laos, there's an estimated revenue of $50 to $75 billion yearly from scam activities like transnational fraud, etc. Okay, so of that, here's another number. Formal estimates range $12.5 to $19 billion per year, equivalent to as much as 60% of GDP of Cambodia is from scam illegal income streams. And it is now significantly eclipsing the country's largest formal sector, the garment and textile industry. So 60% of their GDP literally comes from illegal activities that these scam compounds are providing. So those scam compounds directly benefit the government. And a lot of these are run by Chinese people. And a lot of them are money laundering for CCP officials. And when it comes to, the likes of the Prince Holding Group, this guy, what he was doing, I did a video on this, he's literally laundering money for the Xi Jinping family. So, of course, there's a huge network between the scam compounds and the human experimentation parts, the money making for the Cambodia government, the power ties to the CCP. So when the Thai government decides to strike these compounds, the Chinese people are very much clapping their hands, very happy for what the Thailand government is doing. I think it's such an interesting dynamic when you put it all together, right? Now, according to like the last border clash, which was this summer, they allegedly cracked down on this. So apparently, there's a crackdown in Cambodia on the scam compounds. Thailand obviously has a huge incentive to combat the telefraud, given the fact that a lot of its GDP is tourism, and that's why they want their country to not be fearful for the tourists that come there to be kidnapped. But in Cambodia, the difference in national strength is too vast. Their GDP differed by more than tenfold. Cambodia's military spending was only 800 million, equipment maintenance relying on external aid, blah, 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 blah. They have some of the old stuff, but they're not getting a lot of the stuff from China, right? They allegedly were cracking down on some of the scams. Where was I? I was reading some Chinese reports on this issue because obviously it's a huge reason for, I think, everybody to care, especially in China. Ordinary Cambodians worry that external stereotypes will ultimately impact their lives. A tuk-tuk driver in Phnom Penh stated that we're also victims of telecom fraud. In February this year, Thai authorities cut off the power supply to a Myawaddy industrial park in Myanmar. Myawaddy is like a huge scam network area. Here, so the Global Initiative Against Transnational Cybercrime, through analysis of satellite imageries, believes that several telecom fraud zones in Cambodia have undergone large-scale expansion in the past year or two, potentially increasing the number of victims, those forced into participating in telecom fraud, by 20% to 30%. And estimates, UN ODC report estimated 120,000 victims in Myanmar and 100,000 in Cambodia. So, like I said, they moved those from the Burmese like scam compounds into Cambodia, and everything just fits, right? So basically, the interest of the CCP lines up with the interest of Cambodia. They make money, they get everything. When it comes to the kidneys, the pig butchering, they're called slicing kidneys because that's what they do. Like they, not to go into too much graphic details, but that's what they harvest. So yeah, it's a crazy situation. And just based on how it has transpired, I think a lot of Chinese people are siding with Cambodia, with Thailand and not Cambodia for a very good reason. And unfortunately, we don't know what the Unit 731 of the CCP is really doing in Cambodia. I don't think they're up to any good. And I don't think we'll ever find out the full details on that. But just knowing the fact that they're connected to the Wuhan Institute of Virology and CDCs in China and provincial governments tells you everything you need to know about exactly what's going on. So thanks for watching this episode. And we'll be back with more deep dives on China.